Welcome everyone, today we are graced by a legend of the old, with the mighty Shetland Apache leading the forces of Khorne up against Cathay. So we are going to be playing on the Mountains of Morn, a very nice map for Khorne indeed. Both Vanguard deployments here in the trees, very good at getting onto Domination Point 3 and Point 1. The double Khorne Warhounds here, with also including the Fleshhounds, 4 each apiece, so it's going to be 8 total that can Vanguard with 95 speed and great capture weight, can get onto these points and be amazing at disrupting. You get some of that heavily armoured infantry in the middle, and it could be an absolute nightmare, especially with these chokeholds, to really push through as the slow Cathay. However, a bit of a different force here from Khorne today, so we are going to have some of the Chaos Furies here. One on either side, backed up by a unit of the Chaos Warhounds in the trees. And for the main battle line, let's start with the Lord choice. We are going to have the Soul Grinder, so we're actually going to have the Lord in the back pocket, but we are going to have the Soul Grinder of Khorne leading. Now he's going to have 800 armor-piercing missile strength, which is going to be a precursor missile. So you don't decide where it fires for you, so it can actually sort of, reduce the amount of micro needed. But it has 500 armor-piercing weapon strength as well as fire and magic damage, so overall pretty decent here with physical resistance and spell resistance. So I really like the infantry choices. Double halberds here in the middle for anti-large and armor piercing. Very good up against all those cavalry, Longma riders, etc. And a unit a bit more stable here up against the missiles with just the regular warriors of Khorne here with the shields. Now in the back, my favourite choice is going to be the Exalted Bloodletters. I absolutely love starting with these bad boys because of this ability. So Hellblade, what is Hellblade? Hellblade is going to be an increase to base weapon damage and armor piercing when you get more than 80 kills. Now, if you get 80 kills and get this ability and die, when you spawn back in, you still keep this ability because you already have more than 80 kills, you're just being resummoned. So you get that increase to base weapon damage and armor piercing for the rest of the game. So starting with them, getting some nice early kills is really, really handy indeed. Now for Cathay here and the Legend of Old, we are going to be having 3 units of the Great Longma Riders in the trees, 110 armor, 105 speed, 75 charge bonus, and they always get the charge. We're also going to have the Dragon-Blooded Lord of Yang today, here with the Jade Amulet, as well as the Strength of Yang, and for the spells, the Wall of Wind and Fire, Dragon's Breath, and the Jade Shield. So these in the sky are going to be super good and picking apart the nice mobility of the Khorne forces. Jade Warriors on the floor for a little bit of tank. These bad boys have some great capture weight. So unfortunately here for the Khorne forces, Chaos Furies really do struggle up against Longma Riders. Very lucky here that we didn't start with an Exalted Bloodthirster or even just a regular Bloodthirster. They really would have got punished here by the triple Longma Riders. In the sky, quite nicely here for the Dragon-Blooded Lord. Now, he is going to be having the physical resistance. Now, that can be good up against Khorne infantry, but it's nice it wasn't brought today because most of the units that are going to be attacking him are going to have magic damage. So, Soul Grinders, also here the Chaos Furies in the sky. So, having that Celestial Dragon Scales is not going to be too handy for 75% physical resistance. So, a good save there. In the sky, Great Longma Riders are going to be pressuring the Furies over here on the left. Another has been summoned. That's probably not good spending. An extra 550 in the sky that's pretty much just going to die here to the Longma Riders. Now, I can certainly understand trying to get all the Furies together to attack 2 of the Longma Riders could be decent, but there's just not enough here. Now, we could move in with the Warhounds. That looks to be the case. We're going to be charging up against the Longma Riders, and it looks like we are going to get the Jade Shield, 44% damage resistance. Very nice work there. That's going to really help protect the Great Longma Riders. On top of that 110 armor, it's going to be almost impossible to punch through and do some good damage. So, just like here, we do nearly lose one of the Chaos Furies. More of the Longma Riders getting the charge here into the sky. And, yeah, 3 against 3 plus some Warhounds. It's not going to go well for the Khorne forces. So, we are going to get the... we are going to get the Wind and Fire here. So, the wall is going to come through. A very nice spell indeed, but really doesn't do much damage. Spell resistance here for all of the Exalted Bloodletters. Any of the demons getting 25%, and 100 armor is going to be almost impossible to punch through. So, okay damage, but, nothing really to write home about. Shooting in the sky here, the Soul Grinder will get some good damage up in the sky. Fury's still going to be pressuring, and it's like it's going to be the rear charge here up against the Chaos Warhound. 75 charge bonus is super strong, considering you always get the charge and you always pick your engagements. In the sky, we are going to have the Dragon-Blooded Lord. A very nice Dragon Breath here down the line of the Exalted Bloodletters. Certainly did more damage there than the Wall of Wind and Fire. So, on the left-hand side, we have 2 units of the Jade Warriors in the trees, and another nice focus. So we are going to have the Jade Lancers, and yes, You saw it. Triple gold chevron, coming with the extra melee attack, melee defense, and leadership. Now, why has this been brought? Now, Shetland Apache, a very smart player, has been playing for a very long time. Now, he's brought these to beat Fleshhounds. Now, of course, Jade Lancers on their own will beat the Chaos Warhounds, or the Khorne Dogs, as I call them, but the Fleshhounds here will lose to triple gold chevron Jade Lancers. Now, there haven't been brought any today, unfortunately, but yeah, they're a very good answer here, and it's better just to go with the triple gold chevron Jade Lancers than just bringing in loads of peasant horsemen. So in the middle here, it's definitely going to be dominated by Khorne. 20 seconds to go, flying in the sky, just waiting to see if we can find the right engagement. It's like Furies are going to be dropping in droves here in the middle. It's like we're going to be at 14 kills here. Longma Riders up at 18, 17, and the last one here at 19. So pretty good kills so far. Exalted Bloodletters at 0 at the moment. They've taken a lot of damage indeed. These bad boys down to 5.8, and you certainly want to be getting those onto cheap infantry, etc. Definitely want to rotate them over here to the left side to butcher all of these Jade Warriors. So it looks like here some of the Khorne Dogs are going to be falling down to 48 models. They all get broken here by the Lord and also the Great Longma Riders. And yeah, it's looking pretty bad here for the mobility. And this is what Longma Riders really give you on the battlefield. So the points are open. It looks like the Jade Lancers are going to be charging in. I was very surprised they're not capturing point 3. We have captured the middle here as Khorne, and the left is getting captured as Grand Cathay. Now you can see the Khorne Warhounds are going to be getting charged back. You could have a little bit of a bait here if they charge down. If you did have some Fleshhounds, you could actually charge the Fleshhounds in up against the Great Longma Riders. You do a lot of good trade efficiency there for sure. So on the floor, we are going to have the Blood Shrine. That got summoned in for 1,000 gold. Not too sure it's worth it at this particular moment, considering we have a lot of cavalry, a lot of flying units, only 2 units of infantry, and we do have a lot of our own infantry on the battlefield. Don't know if this investment was wise, but you know, certainly very good here up against Cathay for sure. So in the back, what do we see? So we are going to have 2 units of the armor-piercing Iron-Held Gunners, and a very nice support here of the cheap Peasant Long Spearmen. They don't have to get in combat, but they give the Yin and Yang bonus, giving that reload skill and leadership to both sides. So if anything charges him, you can charge him with the Peasant Long Spears, and if you need to shoot, the Iron-Held Gunners get those buffs. So it looks like here we have more of the Jade Lancers coming to the left-hand side. Gives some nice armor and reinforcement to point 1. And we do have some Jade Warriors moving into the middle. Now, get some breath attacks here down the middle of the Khorne Halberds. They're certainly a big threat here on the battlefield. Now, Blood Shrine is going to be attacking up against the Great Longma Riders. And the Exalted Bloodletters only up to 7 kills so far. 1 kill here for the Khornite, or we'll just call them the Cornflakes, and the Halberds here. Yep, no kills either. So it's pretty dire here for the mass infantry of Khorne. Iron-Held Gunners pouring into the middle, only 90 range, but you can see they're going to be moving in, trying to see if they can push off the Halberds off this middle point. We are actually going to be having the Songgrinder pushing out against the Jade Warriors, preventing them from getting on the point and getting more of those tickets. So we are going to be capturing eventually here with the Jade Lancers. It's going to be pretty damn close. It looks like the Khorne Halberds are going to be charging through another wall of wind and fire. And we are going to have the Great Longma Riders kind of fall into the mass armor piercing of the Exalted Bloodletters. If they do stay in sustained combat, they will fall pretty hard. They definitely want to get lots of cycle charging indeed. The Blood Shrine also has good armor piercing. 200 weapon strength can do some lovely work. The Wall of Wind and Fire is going to do some lovely work against both these units. And it's like the Exalted Bloodletters, yeah, they do have 14 kills, but only 900 health left. That's going to be a lot to summon back in. So we do capture it, so we will be getting tickets here as Grand Cathay, and we will very soon be taking the lead. Khorne Halberds aren't going to be following. You've got to be careful. Make sure we keep back on the point here. Are we going to notice as the Khornite player? It looks like we're not going to be noticing here. In the sky, we do have the Dragon-Blooded Lord ready to go. So we are going to be destabilizing. Jade Shield as the Jade Lancers. Very nice. It looks like we do notice. So it looks like we are going to have 100 armor, 44% damage resistance, fighting up against the Khornite Warriors. In the sky, Great Longmas, I'm going to be supporting, and oh yes, let's go. So the boy in the back pocket, we are going to be having Skarbrand, the XR, the man, the myth, the legend, super expensive, the Bellow of Endless Fury, the Wrathful Reaper, as well as the Rage Embodied, fueled by Rage, and then also Slaughter and Carnage. Now, he must have cost about 3.6k to summon in. So, literally here, the Khornite forces have summoned nothing but Skarbrand in probably the last 2 to 3 minutes, just to get this man on the battlefield, and he is going to have to make an impact. We're taking the lead here as Grand Cathay. Point 3, though, might be going in the way of the Khornite forces. We are charging on the front, though, here as Grand Cathay. Songgrinder in the back, but you've got to be careful. If you charge into one, the other will just turn and burn. There'll be lots of damage there to be had indeed. Point 1 is going to be on its own. This is where we do have Fleshhounds that could come through. 2 or 3 Fleshhounds here will overwhelm the Jade Warriors pretty quickly. Furies coming forward, they can certainly compromise the Iron Hail Gunners. It's certainly one of the best harassing tools in the game. And it looks like here on the Rift, we are going to be getting more Iron Hail Gunners backed up by Peasant Long Spears. On the point, we could do some good AP shots up against the Halberds. And overall here for the battlefield, looking pretty good. So Chaos Warhounds are going to be charging down Jade Lancers. Not great, they do get terrified by Scarbrand. But for the most part, apart from one Longma Rider, we're looking pretty healthy here as Grand Cathay. We are going to be capturing the middle point. A lovely Dragon's Breath down the line of the Halberds. And it looks like here we're going to be in a pretty comfortable position. So what do we do here as the Khorne forces? Well, we're going to be dominating the left-hand side. Certainly want to get some more tank to the middle. Want to have some good units to compromise the Iron Hail Gunners, and then some strong infantry to take over the point of the Jade Warriors. So it looks like we are going to summon in some Chaos Furies. We could certainly get those on the back on the Iron Hail Gunners, and then push some infantry in behind. Once we compromise those, our infantry aren't going to be taking any damage on the approach. In the middle, Khorne Halberds going to be challenging up against Jade Warriors. Khorne Halberds have good armor piercing and armor. Jade Warriors have good armor, but no armor piercing. So it's not going to be too great for them. Also, we have the Blood Shrine, the motorbike here, which is absolutely flipping awesome. It's just going to be cycling all over the faces of the Jade Warriors. This bad boy is super cool. I can sit here and just watch it all day, just do its thing. I absolutely love it. But it's just going to be cycling for the infantry and just being an absolute nightmare. Look at this thing. How do you stop this thing? I have no idea. But we have the Soul Grinder moving through. That could certainly cause some terror here. But it looks like it actually has terrified as well. Yeah, so very nice stuff indeed. In the back here, we have some Jade Lancers getting pushed by Scarbrand, and he is deceptively fast. This man says 80 speed, but I'm pretty sure he's faster. This man will just absolutely butcher your cavalry, especially at 66 speed. Jade Lancers don't really stand too much here up against such might and speed. In the sky, Furies are going to be charging across. They could certainly clear off the Jade Warriors, but in the back here, they want to get on these Iron Hail Gunners, prevent them shooting up against other Furies, but you want to be getting 2 or 3 ready to go, so you can compromise them all at the same time. Starting very nicely here, I really like this approach. We are going to have Iron Hail Gunners shooting off the ridge down here up against the Halberds, pushing in as well with the Peasant Horsemen. More Spearmen, more Iron Hail Gunners pushing through, supporting each other here with the Yin and Yang harmony. And now we are going to get the Terracotta Sentinel, probably my favourite SEM outside of Lords and Heroes. This bad boy is such a monster, unbreakable, 100 armor, 600 armor piercing weapon strength. This bad boy is an absolute G. 48 speed as well. He's yeah, pretty good actually. Peasant Long Spears charging over to the left-hand side, and still, for whatever reason, just one unit of the Khornites or some of the Cornflakes would comfortably butcher these Jade Warriors. It would be so easy here for Khorne to take this point, but alas, we're not going to be seeing it. Bucket loads of armor piercing charging into the middle. One is going to get compromised. You definitely wanted the Furies to get on the back and then charge the front of all of this with the rest. Because unfortunately here in the back, the Iron Hail Gunners are just going to be shooting, but as you can see, knife and butter come to mind with this Blood Shrine. He's just going to be pushing through and being an absolute menace. Yeah, this bad boy is super good. I believe he actually heals in combat. Yeah, so we have Gore Feast and then also Totem of the Endless Bloodletting, which is just increased to melee attack and leadership. It's very, very nice. This bad boy is pretty good to have on the battlefield, and he'll just wreck Iron Hail Gunners and the rest. So on the left, we are going to be having the Terracotta Sentinel going up against the double Halberds. Not great for him, but, you know, he could tear out these. He could do some good work indeed. In the middle, we do actually have the Wrathful Reaper, which is going to rampage Scarbrand, but previously it looks like he did rampage using the Rage Embodied. So we are going to get the Peasant Horsemen, and the Jade Lancers are going to break to the might of the big Demon Lord. Charging over is going to be the heroic Great Longma Riders. Now, they don't have ITP, but they do have Fierce. They can charge over and certainly do some good work. Now, they are going to charge down, and as per usual with flying units, they do miss, but they're going to get sort of a surround. Some of them might get some charge bonus. Most of them are going to miss, and I absolutely love that animation where he throws his axes into the floor. It's absolutely fantastic, but he's going to be doing some great work here in the middle, and tickets, they're going to be heavily in the favour of Khorne. And that mobility at the moment, it's going to be paying off. Oh, yes, now we're talking. We are going to be getting the Blood Crushers of Khorne charging into the middle. And these bad boys will deal comfortably with these Jade Warriors. Anti-infantry, armor piercing, magic damage. These boys are ready to rumble. Demons on top of these amazing mechanical beasts are just ready to rip and shred and rock and roll. Oh, we are going to have some of the Peasant Long Spears, but these bad boys will just move off in a minute. They've certainly never seen Blood Crushers like this. The Horn of Khorne giving plus 24 melee attack, 101 leadership as well. Yeah, these boys are having a whale of a time. So, yet again, it only looks like it's only going to be one unit here. These Warhounds still going 55 kills. We are going to be having the Lord in the middle fighting here up against Harpies. And we are going to have Jade Lancers charging through just to give a little bit more tank. We can see trapping in the Blood Shrine, doing some good damage, negative 19 leadership. He's going to be getting desummoned here, and we are charging him with just more and more and more Jade Lancers and Peasant Horsemen. Having those as the triple gold just makes them so sustainable and very difficult here for Khorne to deal with. Point 3 is going to be in the favour, and being that we have the Terracotta Sentinel, this bad boy is going to lock it down, and he's going to lock it down hard. You can't pretty much take it down here without maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 halberds, because in the back here we also have Iron Held Gunners, so we are going to need support of Harpies. We are really going to need to get a force here together. So only 1 losing compensation, 3,000 against 3,800, so pretty even game here. We are going to see, oh, this is really unfortunate. Can we get away? It looks like the Peasant Horsemen, the brave men here of Grand Cathay, going to charge down up against Scarbrand to allow their lord to get away. And it looks like here is going to be the Wrathful Reaper, getting all those lovely bonuses. So base weapon damage, armor piercing, just to smash up against all these horsemen. Over here on the right, it's an absolute scrap of the old world. We are going to be having Jade Lancers fighting up against Blood Crushers. These boys absolutely must hold. If they don't, we're going to lose point 1, and we could come back in as Khorne. Now, let's have a look in the middle here. So it's like Khorne is going to be holding the middle. It's going to be left here for Grand Cathay as well. If we take point 2, we probably could would pretty much be guaranteed as a win here for Khorne. So we need some more forces over here to get down up against the Blood Crushers. These bad boys are just ripping apart everything. Jade Lancers stand no chance. Infantry stands no chance. We need some Longma Riders over here to fight up against the Furies and these Blood Crushers. But look at that triple gold chevron Jade Lancers holding it up against the armor-piercing Blood Crushers on the right, giving so many points up against Grand Cathay. It's very, very nice indeed. Capturing the middle as well here with the Peasant Long Spears, charging headlong with the Terracotta Sentinel. Now we do get in here with some Chaos Warriors of Khorne, but they are going to get butchered and terrified by the Terracotta Sentinel. On the floor, Jade Lancers pushing here up against Scarbrand, and this is the trade and effect cost of not starting with your lord. 3,000 gold investment, and it's just been an uphill fight from pretty much from the moment he got summoned in. Now we are going to be having Peasant Horsemen, more Peasant Horsemen and Jade Lancers. It's just going to be the cheap and cheerful chaff of all the cavalry here, butchering up against Scarbrand, and you know, he can kill in the droves. He's got 121 kills, and he's going to get to 1,100 weapon strength, 83 melee attack. This man is disgusting, but even so, he's just going to be trapped in by spears. Here in the front, we are going to get some of the Khorne Warriors, but we can charge forward with Peasants, just hold them back, make sure they don't get on the point, and just take those tickets. Over here on the right, we do have some of the dogs charging in. Great Longma Riders butchering the Blood Crushers of Khorne. It's going to be the elite against the elite. Furies coming down. Warhounds. We've got some Jade Warriors in the back. We are going to be breaking with the Jade Lancers, but I'm sure here we can summon and also could put on some good pressure. In the back, we need to desummon those halberds, get them off the battlefield, and get those points going in. More Furies. This is a last-ditch attempt, and this is something I've said a lot for Khorne players. You can't just keep summoning units. You need some sustainability here on the battlefield. Furies are not going to hold. They're not going to capture these points, and you absolutely must capture. So you can see the dogs here are broken. We still have the Blood Crushers, but Furies aren't going to capture. And here in the middle, oh, we are going to be capturing. So gently. I'm very surprised that the Blood Crushers, so close. So close. An extra 30 seconds, and maybe Khorne could have got right into that. I'm really not sure. A very close game. On the floor, we still have Scarbrand, Longma Riders in the sky, Furies on the point, Terracotta's holding it down, but we do actually have maybe some infantry that could come over to the left, but still supporting with the Iron Held Gunners and the Long Spears. Very, very nice work, and an extremely difficult matchup for Grand Cathay. Yeah, so thank you very much for the legend, Shetland Apache, for sending this in. What a game indeed. And starting here with the triple Great Longma Riders. Yeah, very fun. 1,800, 1,900, and 980. Very nice there with the Jade Shield from the Lord of Yang. 2,980 for her. Extremely good performance. Yeah, the quadruple Longma Riders certainly should be holding their head very high today. 130, 260 here for the Jade Warriors. We got 306 from the Terracotta Sentinel, 880, 300, 870, with 590 there for the Jade Lancers. We got 0 for the Jade Warriors, 270, and 450 there for the Peasant Horsemen, 370, 788 for the Iron Held Gunners, 306, and 1,338. These ladies can certainly punch way above their price pool. 177, 0, and then also 133 there for the Peasant Long Spearmen. Yeah, very nice performance from here. Grand Cathay is certainly a very hard faction, but I actually generally think the triple Great Longma start with a Lord of Yang or Ying in the sky is certainly the way to go. And there may be some cheap Jade Warriors, maybe some Jade Spears, depending on who you're playing against. Certainly is a brilliant start, almost against any faction. I think you can go double Terracotta Sentinel as well, but you do need to bring Miao Ying. I think they're the two ways to play. You go with Yin and Yang with the triple Great Longmas, or you go there with the double Terracottas and Miao Ying. Yeah, very nice game indeed. And for the Soul Grinder here for Khorne, we are going to have 2,373. Very nice pick. This bad boy certainly performing way above what I thought he did. I generally thought this was the worst of all the Soul Grinders, but here today he's certainly showing how well he can perform. 16,500 damage dealt is extremely strong indeed. 277 there for the Khorne halberds, 475. Considering how much cavalry, expensive triple gold chevron cavalry, and also the great Longma riders on the battlefield, still shows that the halberds even then really struggled. 343 and 902 there for the Exalted Bloodletters. A very good pick. A little bit of shame that they couldn't find a place called home. 1,033, 780 there for the Chaos Furies at Khorne, with 870 for the Chaos Warhounds. So 2,071, 135 kills there for Skarbrand. He's just about to tip in below 25%, which is when he gets even more powerful. So it's a bit of a shame here that he didn't start. I think Skarbrand is such a pain to deal with. Like, if Skarbrand's on the field, there's just no way that you can bring in a Terracon Sentinel, because he'll butcher the face of this thing. The Terracon Sentinel will just stand absolutely no chance without any healing. We do actually have a Cultist of Khorne. Very surprised not to see him. Him on horseback with a great summon as well would have been very good in that mid stage. You get him there on a domination point. You get the summon in front. You butcher whatever's there, and then you allow units to come in from behind. 160 there for the Chaos Warhounds. Chaos Warriors. We didn't get any more Bloodletters on. 800, 890 for the Chaos Furies, but a lot of summons coming from them. 1,500 for the Blood Crushers. A very nice one indeed. Really like that summon, with 1,018 here coming from the Blood Shrine. So even though there wasn't too much for the Blood Shrine to go after from its position on the battlefield, it still did some very good work. It has good buffs, it also heals itself. It's an extremely good model that I think is really underrepresented. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. I do apologise, I'm extremely tired, which is why some of my casting might be a little bit worse today. So I apologise for that. I did a 17-hour shift on Saturday. I'm feeling it at the moment, so I'm really tired. So apologies if the casting is a little bit below par. Other than that, if you enjoyed it anyway, regardless, and you enjoy all of my content, do feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe. It really does help a lot. You guys really enjoyed my magic video that I did there on the missile mirror. If you enjoy that sort of thing, do feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll be doing more of those coming here in the future. Please feel free to leave your thoughts and comments down below. I love reading everything you guys have to say. It really does, help me grow as a content creator, also as a caster, and on all these kind of things. My knowledge in the game, I always want to learn and learn so much. If you haven't already, check out that description. You can find all my social media platforms, including Twitch, and also, most importantly, that Discord. Anything I ever do will be on there, so please check it out. And other than that, take care of yourselves. Thank you yet again to Shetland Apache for sending this in, and I'll see you guys very soon.